Hello, this is Udavir and today we are going to discuss about determinants of the culture under module Understanding Foreign Culture. So, as we already know that there are four determinants of culture. One is social organization, second one is influence of religious practices, then influence of spoken and unspoken languages and influence of formal education. As we have already discussed about social organization and influence of religious practices. So, today our objective will be after this lesson, students should be able to describe the influence of spoken and unspoken languages. Let's start with the importance of spoken and unspoken languages. When working with people from different cultures, it is vital to understand the spoken and unspoken language that will enhance or reduce the development of relationships in a workplace. In India, where there is a coexistence of people from different cultures and religions, one needs to be aware of these differences in order to enhance relationships. In case of spoken languages, while English is the language of international business, knowledge of the local language is beneficial and in some cases it is critical for business success. In case of unspoken languages such as facial expressions and hand gestures can have different interpretations in different cultures. Let us take an example of halal culture. Islamic dietary laws define which foods are halal. Halal foods are lawful and permitted to be eaten by those observing Islamic teachings. For example, a halal diet includes all domestic birds, cattle, sheep, goat, camel, buck, rabbit, fish and shellfish, fruits and vegetables, dairy, egg, pulses and legumes. And all all of these food groups, meat is the most regulated. So the aforementioned animals are only halal if a ritual slaughter takes place. This involves reciting God's name and quickly and efficiently searing specific arteries with a sharp knife. This is intended to render the animal unconscious and minimize its sufferings. And those products which are not considered to be halal are called haram. And these products, some of these products are like pig, carnivorous animals with fangs, birds of prey, reptiles, moles, donkeys, pests, and insects. Now let us understand spoken and unspoken language in halal culture. So, suppose one person is following halal culture and he is asking for halal label on food packaging, then it will be straightforward an example of spoken language because he is directly asking about halal food. So that will be example of spoken language. In another case, if a person who is following halal culture and he is very sensitive of sharing of cutleries such as spoons, knife, chopsticks, chopping board and electric appliances like microwave and cooking stoves. So in this case he is very sensitive to sharing his products with the other person, but he is not disclosing that why he is sensitive, and he is not saying that he is doing it because of halal and haram culture. So in that case he is avoiding sharing, but he is not speaking anything. Then this example will be of unspoken language. Hope you have understood this example. Now we will watch a video and will try to understand the direct and indirect communication.
Direct versus indirect communication. Different cultures favor different communication styles. A direct communication style is one in which the burden of communication is on the speaker. That person is expected to be clear, get to the point, be specific. A good direct speaker is one who ensures that the listeners understand what is being said. Direct speech, whether verbal or written, is often assertive, and direct speakers tend to be very comfortable with confrontation and giving blunt orders. This report is poorly written, have it redone by tomorrow. In contrast, indirect communication style allows a greater possibility of saving face and avoiding embarrassment or shame, both for the speaker and for the listener. Your supervisor comments that this project needs to be finished up this weekend. That's a rather indirect way of asking you to work this weekend. He could more directly ask, so can you come in on Saturday? And your very direct answer might be a simple no. However, you could indirectly answer with, my mom is having her 80th birthday party on Saturday. If your supervisor is also an indirect communicator, he will know that you are clearly indicating that you cannot work this weekend. You didn't have to come right out and refuse to work, embarrassing yourself or being rude to the supervisor. However, if the supervisor is a direct communicator, he may not understand your message. Direct communicators often think that indirect communicators are taking a long time to get to the point, or even being deliberately obscure. And indirect communicators may think that direct communicators are rude and aggressive. Which are you?
Hope you are clear about direct and indirect style. When a direct communicator wants or needs something, he will come right out and say it. In case of spoken language, language is straightforward and precise, emphasizes speakers' ability to express their intention, and there will be use of absolutely and certainly. And in example of unspoken language, value orientation includes honesty, openness, and individual worth. And in case of indirect style of communication, that indirect communication happens when a speaker's true intentions are hidden. Indirect speakers will not make a direct statement or directly answer a question that might cause a tension or result in uncomfortable situation. If we take an example of spoken language, language is imprecise and words can be ambiguous, and emphasis on listeners' ability to infer speakers' intentions. But in example of unspoken language, to avoid hurting the feelings of other in-group members, also a direct no is mostly restricted. This keeps up group harmony and group conformity. I hope you have understood today's topic. Thank you so much.